Good sets of questions. And now we're going to get a little bit more personal opinion. I'm going to ask the same question to all four of you. Let's start with Harry. Ready, Harry?
Ready.
Okay. What was the most discouraging experience of your career? That's it.
That's the question.
Yeah. Don't say now. But.
Yeah, this moment. Actually, it probably is particularly dealing in the area that I deal in, and that is the chemical enhanced oil recovery. And some of the discouraging things that we run across when we're talking with new clients that have graduate petroleum engineers, and they want to talk about chemical flooding and how it applies to their field. I find so many times that they haven't taken the time to go back into the SPE literature and read all of the papers that have been published in the past. And in particular, even the newer graduates in the last 10 or 15 years. The work that was done in chemical EOR for Marathon, for Exxon, for Texaco, all of these companies really published an awful lot of information that if they just took the time to go ahead and read it, study it, they could get a lot of information from it and probably not reinvent the wheel on a lot of concepts that they have.
Hossein has already brought up Fred Potman, but I think that's the best lesson I learned from him when he started teaching at Mines. He said, Ramona, we've already done that. Go back and read the literature. Okay. So that's very true. Hossein, same question. What's the most discouraging experience in your career?
That's really very easy question for me to answer, because the most disappointing experience, the discouraging experience, was shutting the technology center down. Why do you have such a wonderful organization which is adding value to your corporation, and you shut it down? I mean, it was an incredible bad decision. So that's all I can say. If you want to elaborate on that.
Steve.
I already told Ramona my answer is going to be today. I won't dwell on it, but and to Harry's point earlier, timing matters. I acquired some assets in Wyoming 3 years ago, and you guys know at least roughly where oil prices were then. They were almost exactly $100 when we closed. They're a little less than that now. We've had some challenges with the Wyoming DEQ and other regulators, so I'm in the process of handing that business over to somebody else. That's not the end of the story, and the real point is we also have 5,000 acres in Wattenberg that we're just beginning to drill. And as a small company, I can't imagine a better time to be out acquiring services and equipment in terms of not only the cost, but the availability of very high quality services and equipment for a small company. 2 years ago, we would have been at the back of the line in terms of being able to get rigs, frac crews, etc. And I'll just say now that line's a whole lot shorter. So with every change, this one certainly, being a challenging downturn, there's opportunity. I've also been able to hire a couple of folks, one this week, one starting next week, that are incredibly talented, experienced folks that are really going to make our team much stronger going forward.
John.
I don't know that I've had one major disappointing experience in the industry I could identify. It would be a lot of little disappointing moments in times like this when we see careers end and friends leave. But good days will come again.
Thank you, John. That was one of the questions that I wanted to ask. Okay, I'm going to talk for a bit. That was one of the questions that I wanted to ask because I think that was one of the most impactful statements or questions that I asked someone when I first started out, and it was Pat Early, Amoco CEO. And I said, boy, wow, I said, that's really something. You're CEO of Amoco and you're a mines graduate. He said, it wasn't always this good. I've had some disappointing days in my life, disappointing experiences. The second part of this question is, what did you learn from it? He said that if you want to, you can always come back. And that's pretty much the message that you guys have just told these students and professionals.